Hello, Mrs. B here, and in RE today we are continuing with the Jewish religion. This is lesson 4, and we're going to find out the significance of the Seder plate. Recap. What is Passover? Passover is an important festival celebrated by Jewish people. It is celebrated in spring. Passover celebrates when the Jewish people were freed from slavery in Egypt over 3,000 years ago. The story is told in the special Jewish book, the Torah. How is Passover celebrated? Passover is celebrated for 7 or 8 days. An important part of Passover celebrations is something called matzah, which is a type of unleavened bread that has not risen. It reminds Jewish people of the escape from Egypt when they didn't have time to make normal bread that would rise in the oven. The Seder. The evening before Passover begins, there is a special time called Seder. This means order. The Seder happens during a meal with family and friends. The Seder plate. An important part of Seder is the Seder plate, or the Ka'araha, as it is known in the special Jewish language Hebrew. It has sections that hold special Seder food. They all represent something from the story of Passover. Ziroah. Ziroah is a roasted lamb bone. It is a symbol of the offerings the Jewish people made to God as part of their worship. Haroset. Haroset is a paste of chopped apples, walnuts and wine. It reminds people of the mortar paste that the Jewish slaves had to use when building things in Egypt. Maror. Maror is a very bitter herb made from horseradish. It is a symbol of the suffering of the Jewish people in Egypt. Hazaret. Hazaret is another bitter herb, usually romaine lettuce. It also reminds people about the suffering of the slaves in Egypt. Karpaz. Karpaz is a small slice of vegetable which is dipped in salt water. This reminds people of the tears the slaves in Egypt would have shed. Bietza. Bietza is a hard-boiled egg. The egg represents the offerings Jewish people made to God as part of their worship. Also means new life. What can you remember? Which parts of the Seder plate can you remember? Have a look at the silhouette and see if you can match the food up. You can always stop the tape to have a look at the pictures and read the text. Seder plate. So let's quickly summarize. A hard-boiled egg, offerings made of new life. Horseradish represents the suffering of the people, the slaves. A roasted bone offerings made in a temple. A mixture of chopped apples, walnuts and red wine reminds them of the bricks and the mortar of the slaves used to make all the temples and the pyramids, and the vegetables, the tears shed by the slaves. So your task is to write the long date, Wednesday the 3rd of February 2021, RE Lesson 4, the learning objective, the significance of the Seder plate. Task 1, to draw and label the Seder plate. Make sure your drawing takes up the whole page. Use the correct colours when colouring in. Task 2, on the next page, write what each piece of food represents. So lay it out and as you're writing a report. Okay, each line has a new sentence. Have fun.